The maiden edition of the FMN Prize for Innovation took place in 2021, an initiative designed to build a sustainable food system in Nigeria. The past 3 editions explored relevant themes that spotlighted innovative businesses and SMEs within the food and agro-allied space. Every year, the FMN Prize for Innovation will highlight an important part of the food value chain that is critical to the transformation and long-term development of the country's food systems. Topics include innovative food preservation techniques, local contents development, and driving food self-sufficiency through precision agriculture. This year, for the 4th season, the group will explore the theme innovative practices in livestock farming in Nigeria, calling on players within the livestock space to share their innovative ideas or businesses to be reliable for the prize money. Joining us now on the show is Modupe Thani, Head Corporate Communications, Flour Mills of Nigeria, FMN. She's joined by Adenike, Adeyemi, CEO, Faith Foundation, and Tosin Ojo, Partner, Private Equity Team, Sahel Capital Agribusiness Managers Limited. Good morning to you 3, and welcome to the morning show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
It's good to have you. So I'll start with you, Modupe, who's sitting just, by me. From the documented progress of the past winners of the prize money, it is clear that they witnessed tremendous growth following their encounter with the business. The 4th season of the FMN PFI is ongoing. Can you tell us more about how the group has improved the businesses and lives of past beneficiaries?
Yes, Ayo. Well captured intro. I'd like to sort of emphasize on a couple of things that we've done that has sort of helped us impact the lives and their businesses. Before we go for the live presentation pitch, we usually would have a training session. For season 1, we didn't have a training session. However, we worked with Adenike of Faith Foundation, and we decided that there was a gap in their presentation skills, in their putting together their pitch documentation. So what we decided to do was ensure that before they come for the pitch presentation, they go to Faith Foundation for a crash course on how to come up with their presentations and how to present. And we saw a tremendous improvement in their pitch presentations, in how they've been able to engage the judges. And we also have testimonials that some of our winners and some of the people who have come on the platform have gone ahead to win other prizes based on the training that we've given them. Also, we have a 1-year mentorship program that we do to support them, and basically is to leverage on expertise that we have in flour mills to guide them on how they can best use their prize money and also how they can sort of scale up their businesses. And we also have testimonials that some of these people have scaled up their businesses up to 50%. In addition, we also run like a small documentary where we go to their base location to do a documentary of what their business is about, to help them promote their business and give more visibility. And we also help them manage that and pay for all those videos. So we do that. And then in addition, the platform has also sort of given them an opportunity to network amongst themselves. So you find out that even some of the winners or even people who didn't win are able to collaborate, because collaboration is key when it comes to, working best in this space. So they're able to collaborate and sort of work together. If you have a drying machinery, you can help somebody who has tomatoes that wants to start drying tomatoes, help them dry tomatoes. So they're able to network. And also with our judges, they are experts in this area. So some of our past winners have been able to sort of partner with 1 or 2 of our judges. An example is Mira Mata, who is the founder of Tomato Joss. We've had 1 or 2 of our winners also partner with her on some of their projects. So basically, we've been able to support them and also help them grow their businesses and spend their prize money effectively.
Well, Adenike, or should I say George Adenike, thank you for your commitment as the FM Prize for Innovation since 2021, I'm told. Well, would you say the prize for innovation is a sustainable project in terms of trackable impact in driving food self-sufficiency in Nigeria?
So that's a great question. I definitely think so. That's why I've been a judge for the last 4 years, and I think I'm going to also still be a judge for this year. If you think about the food space, the agribusiness space end-to-end, you're talking about a space that is very critical to feeding us, it's very critical to economic growth, it's very critical even to our socioeconomic development. We do an annual ecosystem report called the State of Entrepreneurship in Nigeria at Faith Foundation. And from that, we see key things around, for instance, the number of young people who run businesses. And the last year we did in 2024, we have about 74% of people who are running small and growing businesses are 35 years and less. And if you juxtapose that with the FMN Prize for Innovation, we see a lot of young talent coming into a space that has traditionally not been attractive because people see, oh, you're going into farming, quote and unquote, and you're investing in a space where people think that, oh, a lot of people are living that from. And because every year there's a focus around specific areas, so whether it's precision agriculture, local content production development, sustainable farming practices, we're able to give young, innovative entrepreneurs within the agribusiness value chain the opportunity to come showcase their innovative ideas and the businesses they've been able to build to date, and in cases also show that they're creating jobs and solving very clear problems. So there's innovation, but there's also impact that potentially would help with productivity within the agribusiness value chain. So for me, it's been a very exciting experience, but even for the work we do at Faith Foundation, being able to partner with flour mills to provide that business knowledge, business experience that then adds value to the innovative talents that these young people bring, and help them better use the prize money they win to grow businesses. And I'm happy to say that 4 years after, it's never an easy decision when we're judging. I mean, Ayo knows this. But even with those dynamics, it's being able to say, okay, for us across the 3 judges, those of us who've judged over the years, being able to put a mark to say, okay, we feel that this investment can go to this young person, and they get not just the financial support, the mentoring support, the exposure, the even sort of like the ecosystem enablement to be able to take this idea and make much more with it. So, yes, thank you.
Right, I'll come to you, Tosin Ojo. As an astute finance and investment analyst and portfolio manager, what are your expectations for the 4th season of this FMN Prize for Innovation?
Okay, thank you. And I mean, I'm glad to be here. I think I'm a first-time judge on this competition. I think from the theme for this year, which is innovation in livestock, sector. I think I'm just excited to see the opportunities and the innovative work that a lot of entrepreneurs are doing in the livestock sector, out there. The livestock sector generally is not as covered or as popular as crop production in Nigeria. It's kind of underdeveloped. If we look at even the overall sector in Nigeria, the most advanced of that sector is poultry. It's poultry farming and poultry production, which is really chicken production. There's a lot we can do around dairy. There's a lot we can do around fisheries. There's a lot we can do that we're not even scratching the surfaces yet. There's so many, of course, issues and where a lot of innovation is needed. The sector is estimated to be about 30 trillion naira. And I think even that data is just based on what we've seen now. Like I've said, most part of the sector is really, really underdeveloped. The most advanced, which is poultry farming, is not even as big as a lot of sectors, for example, in agro-commodities and in crop production. So I think it's quite impressive that the focus is shifting this year to the livestock sector, and then I'm excited to see the kind of innovation that we're going to see in the sector this year, in this competition.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Now, I'll come back to you, Modupe. Based on how impactful the FMN Prize for Innovation has been, are there plans to scale the project to other African countries?
It's a progressive conversation, particularly because at Flour Mills, we are also looking to move beyond Nigeria to Africa. However, we need to clean our house first before we go outside of Nigeria. We are still scratching. We've not nailed it as we would like to nail it. We are hoping to extend and make sure that we reach as many SMEs as we can and provide the needed support to grow their business, provide the needed expertise and guidance on how we can scale up to ensure that we have food sustainability in Nigeria. That's the first one. We are also looking to ensure that we reach as many locations in Nigeria as we can, because as of today, you note that most of what you see of farming and all those things are usually skewed to a particular part of the country, and we're looking to make sure that we scale pan-Nigeria, which is why we also picked the topic that we picked this season to say, let's even look beyond just crop farming and let's go to other aspects of the farming. So like I said, it's a progressive conversation. We'll clean our house, we'll get it right here, and then we'll expand beyond Nigeria.
Adenike, back to you. You have decades of expertise in institutional transformation and sustainability philanthropy. What are your thoughts on how to scale the FMN prize?
I will say that if you look at the SDG goals, one of the last goal actually speaks on partnerships for progress. We have a large country, a large population, a lot of potential. We have, for instance, this prize that we give to select young persons. But there's a question around scale. How do you scale this progressively and sustainably in a way that you are able to take this support to more people and to more places? One of the things that, even FMN has done, and Modupe mentioned that earlier, is around understanding that, okay, we have this system, we have the support, we then have this platform we've put together. We've identified that there's a knowledge gap that is needed, so let's provide that knowledge gap to the entrepreneurs before. But then there's also then connecting those who win, or even those who are even shortlisted with value chains, with access to market opportunities. Because when we're talking about scale, we have to think about it in different ways. I know that we've always had the question during the jury when we're deliberating that we want to come back 5-10 years from now and see that these businesses have used the support that they get, financial and non-financial support, to be able to present sustainable growth where not just them, but other businesses along their value chain or connected with their product or service delivery are able to benefit from them. And so my own hope and thought is that we see several more of this, number one. Number two is that, as we've seen in the last 1 to 2 years, investing in more support, not just to the top 3 winners, but even to those who've been shortlisted and more in expanding knowledge, expanding education, expanding access, but also then saying how can those we select, how can they be opportunities for ripple effects on additional job creation or creating additional cottage industries? Because somebody, for instance, who is creating cassava pellets in one of the shortlisted entries for the last 2 years, then is able to provide accelerated support to somebody who is supplying him cassava or to somebody who is then doing production and manufacturing. So they're not taking all of that within their own business model. So when we think of sustainability, when we think of scale, it's within the ecosystem of support that is given to them. It's saying that in addition to what FMN is giving, who are the other players that can extend and expand on that support? And is also then looking at the business to see how can we also create ripple effects because we've invested in one particular business.
Right. So the third season, and I'm coming to you, Tosin Ojo again, the third season of FMN PFI produced the first female winner, which was the first runner-up with your experience in managing women-focused investment impact. I mean, so what are the suggestions like on how we can get more female innovators on board, this program?
Oh, thank you. I think in the agri-business sector generally, the representation and the involvement of women is quite low. Part of it are structural barriers, right? Farming is quite operationally intense, and even agribusiness is quite operationally intense. Most of the well-integrated agribusinesses run around the clock. So you have real structural impediment around the women being able to be in that sector. That said, we kind of just need to give support that address those structural barriers. So there's so many areas that women can play in that sector. It could be research and development. It could be other areas of the value chain, but we need to bring them in. We need to also encourage, give the right support in terms of training, in terms of access to mentoring, in terms of access to capital, in terms of access to market, and but more importantly, look holistically around, again, structural barriers that create impediments. And I'll give an example. Access to land, access to property is one of the key ones. In most parts, in some parts of this country, it's still quite difficult for women to be able to have access to land directly. We all know that agriculture, in any shape or form, whether crop production or livestock farming, you need access to land. So that's an example. So from, let's say, government level, we need to look at structural impediments and start addressing them. From, let's say, the company level, we need to look at how do we encourage more women to participate and to be in the sector. And I think the last point will be to the women themselves. They need to raise their hands and just be willing to be in the sector, because the sector is intense and is operationally, difficult.
All right, excellent. Thank you. So, Modupe, having been part of the last 3 seasons, what are your expectations for season 4?
Okay, in one sentence, I would say my expectations is that we're looking to receive exciting entries, particularly because for this season, we've delved away from where we've been playing in the last 3 seasons. We're going into livestock farming, so we're hoping to get exciting pitches from our top 5, and hoping that the best person wins. That's the first one. And then, of course, we're looking forward to having Tosin on board as one of our judges in this season, because this time around, we're going to have a skew towards female, which is not the norm. And if you look at us in here today, it's all women. It's an all-women panel. So we're looking forward to having more women on board in line with what Tosin had just spoken to.
Thank you. Adenike, looking very quickly, we want you to look back at your years being a judge on this panel for the innovation, and tell us a couple of businesses by winning participants that you stood out for, that really stood out for you.
Yes, so 2 of them. One, he's called Farmer Samson Ogbole, soilless farming. He does hydroponics, and really around urban farming, how do you create, good produce when you have limited access to land and the like, and he's doing really, really well, so really excited about him. And the second will be Tunde Adeyemi. He's not related to me or my husband's family, I have to say. He runs a business called The Olivet, and he does biogas, and it's really the whole circular economy, taking waste, transforming it, to energy, but also to products that then still can go to be organic waste that then, improves the quality of soil and the like. So those 2 stand out. Thank you.
Okay, so, the question is just again, what's going to be, the strategy, one, to be able to get a lot of female innovators, that'll come on this program. Secondly, how can we, bring out of the ecosystems they are in now? If some of them are in rural areas, maybe some of them never get a chance to be able to see this. What are the other mechanisms of reach, for these people? Thirdly, are we going to have a full-on approach? Apart from you've done television on Rise TV. Are we going to have also social media? Are we going to have local conventional radio, to be able to push this so we can dig these people out? Because we've got great talent in every part of this country that'll blow your mind. Female entrepreneurs doing so well, but we need to be able to get across to them. So what are we going to do differently this time? As we wrap up.
Tosin, if you can just answer in 1 sentence, that would be great. Thank you.
I think FMN has already started on the right track, which is going to a different sector. So, as you know, in Nigeria, most of the livestock farming and production happens in northern Nigeria. And, for example, a lot of the milking around cattle rearing are actually done by female farmers. So I think by just changing the focus, you would already, be able to see more female entries in this competition. Of course, the list of what can be done is endless, but we kind of just need to start somewhere. And I think they started from the right path.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. A big thanks to our guests this morning. We had Modupe Thani, Adenike Adeyemi, and Tosin Ojo here to speak about the FMN Prize for Innovation, the 4th edition this time. Thank you very much.